Welcome into Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where we are attempting to get things going today. Shaun, take over.
Okay, what are you still messing with the internet?
No, I'm not messing with the internet. I'm
Uh,
messing with
oh,
other things.
the radio functions. I mean, I
Yes.
could totally fix that in 2 seconds. I'm kidding. I don't know how to run the
Nobody can
board.
see you whatsoever, by the way.
I don't
I'm
know how
just
to.
telling you.
Yeah, I don't know how to run the board. So, anyway, hey, how's everybody doing? We are here on Crossing the All today with some really big news stories out there. It's been kind of fun. I just when I walked in the studio, I haven't, I know about, we all know about the P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. I mean, I guess I'm 45, so I'll call him Puff Daddy forever trial. But I just haven't been, honestly, I have not been following as much. So I did read like some excerpts from it today. And I mean, Lindsey, P. Diddy was going to town, man. Like this was some serious stuff, these freak offs. So he was paying this guy or several guys, like lots of male escorts.
Move a little bit.
Yeah, male escorts to have sex with his girlfriend, like Cassie Ventura. Have you read about that?
That's the same one he like pulled by the hair.
Yeah, I thought that stuff was crazy. I was reading all about it. I was like, oh my God, like this is like a lot more extensive. So, but I was still trying to figure out like, so it was saying that she was doing it voluntarily. Is that what you've read?
Well, I have breaking news.
What's that?
Can I tell my breaking news?
Yeah, go ahead.
The motion filed in Carly Gregg's appeal has been denied.
Oh no, actually, that's not what's happened.
Oh, well, that's exactly what WLBT is reporting.
Yeah, I spoke to Kara earlier. She called me to clarify that.
Oh, Kara, wait a minute now.
What?
It's supposed to be a girl's girl. Why is she giving you the info and not me?
Oh, well, no, she was asked to clarify something about that. So what happened in that was the record is not complete in the case, which is when you do an appeal. That's what has to happen. And so there was a motion to supplement the record filed by Carly Gregg's new attorney. I think his name is James Murphy, but it's premature at this point because, yeah, that's a motion filed is denied. The motion to supplement the record is what that means. So there's a motion to supplement the record that was denied. It was premature. Really what it is, once the record is complete and sent to the court, then you can file a motion and I'm not an appellate attorney, but I remember this from law school, at least. You can file a motion to supplement the record. And the record
can't remember stuff I told you an hour ago. How do you remember something from law school?
Well, I mean, that stuff is important stuff. So I try to remember it.
Yeah,
but I try to remember it.
Okay.
So the record is like the transcript, the exhibits, all that kind of stuff that goes into what's called the record. And and so that has to be complete. And so, but sometimes lawyers want to supplement it so they can argue portions of it in their briefs that come later. So this is nothing. I mean, it's nothing shocking or breaking or anything like that. It's just it was a premature motion essentially. Nothing big deal.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
It was a headline.
So. I know that's a WLT, and we do the same thing. We like throw this in, like, oh my God, no! It really was just the lawyer just filed the motion prematurely to supplement. They can supplement later, as far as I know. But and again, I'm not an appellate lawyer, but from what I remember. But it's not, the appeal is not denied. It's not, nothing's happened with the appeal. The appeal is still going forward, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
So,
all right, back to P. Diddy.
Okay, so P. Diddy is going to town on these women. And what I was trying to figure out was what he's charged with a bunch of different stuff, like sex trafficking. I don't know do you know all the charges that he's charged with?
I don't.
Because you follow this stuff way more than me. You know how I hate.
But I have been so engrossed in Karen Reed that I haven't had all the time to devote to P. Diddy, like I'm sure he deserves.
Okay, I'm sure he does. Well, because I honestly, since I do this all day, every day for a living, sometimes I'm not really good at following trials. Like I'll watch I'll watch Nazi subboat documentaries all night. And I think I watched a movie about the 1919 White Sox last night, stuff like that. But when it comes to these trials, a lot of times
that helps us out a lot.
Lindsey follows them a lot more extensively than I do, to be honest with you. But I did think it was funny just reading some of this stuff that he had done to this to this woman. Not funny, but in terms of like, wow, man, he's a weirdo. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, he's obviously a weirdo.
He's a real weirdo. And so he's charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud and coercion, and transportation for the purposes of prostitution, which I think that's one of the federal crime where you can't transport prostitutes across state lines. Anyway, I did though I was reading and again, I don't know enough about the case and yet to make a determination of anything, but I was just reading the testimony of the girlfriend, this Cassie Ventura.
Well, I mean, what she said, like the freak offs were imposing on her music career. I saw that this morning. I was like, dang, I mean, how many freak offs were going on? I don't even know what a freak off is. Do you know what a freak off is?
Well, apparently the freak off was when P. Diddy would hire a male escort to have sex with Cassie, his girlfriend. And that's like kind of what got him off. So he'd hire it was several over the years. Started from the time she was 22 and now she's 38.
We've banned that in Mississippi.
What? You can't have male escorts or freak offs in
I'm
Mississippi?
just joking. I mean, I'm sure we can.
Just go to Reunion. I mean, right?
I have friends over there.
Yeah, right. Isn't that what they're known for? So
The pineapple in your grocery cart.
yeah, so just go to Reunion. You can see freak offs. I don't know if that's true. That's just
I know that's been the rumor all these years. I mean, I have no idea if any of that is actually. I mean, allegedly, this is alleged.
Well, it's such a rumor that it's a local joke that everybody makes. It's the worst kept secret in the metro area. I mean, there's even
It almost makes me think it's just a joke. Is there any reality to it?
I mean, even if you go to Cheney's
You're
shop,
gonna end up.
yeah, I'm gonna knock your camera. Even if you go to Cheney's shop in Fondren, Cheney, he's an infamous T-shirt maker in Jackson. He's got a Reunion Swingers Club shirt you can buy.
I mean, I think there's been several of those made over the years.
And the pineapple jokes, and so I mean, if there were freak offs in Mississippi, it would happen there, according to urban legend, I would say. So if P. Diddy ever played a show in Jackson, he would go to Reunion afterwards for the after party. That's what I would say.
I mean, maybe so. I mean, well, Snoop Dogg invited me back to his hotel room.
I'm sure he did.
In Jackson. I tried to get him to go to Waffle House with me, and he was going to go. Well, he was going to go. And then his manager was like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "Why not?
Why not? Why can't Snoop Dogg?" I mean, did you have a lot of marijuana too? I guess
no, but he stepped off his tour bus in such a cloud of smoke that I don't think he needed any more. I think he was good to go.
Snoop Dogg is known to he and Willie Nelson.
I was like, sure. I was like, sure, you can go. I mean, nobody's gonna know my Honda Accord. I'll just pull back there and you can jump in. And
now, if Steve Gaines called Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson dopers, he'd been right in that aspect. If he was referring to Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson,
I heard he was resigning. That's word on the. I mean, allegedly through the grapevine on the book of faces.
The book of face was saying that. That what we're talking about is District Supervisor Steve Gaines, who made those racist comments last week at the Rankin County, was it prayer breakfast club?
I don't know why you keep calling it a prayer breakfast.
I don't know.
I've never heard it called a prayer breakfast. Like you're trying to make this, you're trying to tie in this racism with religion, and I want you to stop it right now.
Well, when I think Rankin County and breakfasts, I think prayer breakfast, because usually the dudes at the prayer breakfast that are like pulling all the BS. Yeah, I mean, just usually. We all know it's true. Come on. Like, it's always.
Sean, there are lots of people that go to Jimmy. Is his name Jimmy? No, that's the sausage guy, Jimmy Dean.
What?
To Earl Dean's breakfast that are nice people.
I'm sure there are. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying, usually when people go to like prayer breakfasts, it's go to the breakfast and go hit up the bar later, Danny's at night.
What's wrong with that? Jesus turned water into wine. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying it's a public
Danny's. Nobody I know goes to Danny's.
I mean, that that they're going to Danny's. I'm just saying, like,
I didn't even know that place still existed. That's disgusting.
Hit up the prayer breakfast, talk about how much they love Jesus, 27% more than their opponent, and then the real stuff happens that we're not supposed to know about. That's just look. All my years in the DA's office, this is what I saw. So I'm just basing this off life experience. It was always the dudes that were the most Jesus-y that would always pull.
Jesus-y?
Yeah, the ones that were like super Jesus.
Is that a word of the day?
I'm just saying the dudes that were the most Jesus-y
were
always running some scam or doing something,
But you can't say that they all fit into that category.
No, I never did I ever say all. I said this has just been my experience where the most Jesus-y dudes were the ones rolling this way. I'm just saying. I mean, and I'm sure people out there will back me up on this, but
I think there are some that actually do love Jesus 27% more than their opponents do.
You think they love them 27% more than their opponent? Like how do they calculate that?
I don't know, but I mean, I bet it's true. I mean, I can tell you which ones after working hand in hand with legislators for the past 4 years, I can tell you which ones I believe are true when it comes to their Christianity and that actually try to do the right things. They're out there. It's not all of them.
Okay. I mean,
there's been one on this radio station several times. That's a complete total snake in the grass, by the way, but I won't say any names.
Go to a politician?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's over there in the Senate.
Right. Well,
there's some senators that are great that I love to death.
Yeah. I mean, Well, generally what I learned, okay, look, I'll say it this way. When people are using their religion, and it's funny how we got off onto this from P. Diddy's
I know,
freak-offs.
I don't know.
But a reunion to P. Diddy's freak-offs at prayer breakfasts. But
I'm getting messages, by the way, that say that that's actually true. It really
What?
does go down at reunion.
See, there you go. I was right, Lindsay. Now, I've always known when people tend to put out their religion so hard, they're always running a scam. Like when I was at the DA's office, every time, that's what I used to say. I said, the minute the dude starts talking about Jesus, better grab onto your wallet, because like that was always the dudes that we ended up prosecuting for like white collar stuff. It's because it was the Jesus dudes. Like they're always at like the soup. Now, I'm not saying people are not legitimately religious. They are. I'm religious. You're religious. This is not what I'm saying. The people that are like throwing it out there are generally running the scam. That's all I'm saying. I get hate for that all on. That's just been my experience.
There are some who mean it.
I mean, they're running the church hustle is what I'm saying, like the church hustle. Because
there might be some that do that, but there's some that don't. There's some that really believe the things they say.
Now, the politicians that use Jesus and stuff now, they're all BSing. That's what I say. Because Jesus wants me to be elected. George W. Bush.
You're so jaded. You are so jaded.
Jesus demands I get elected. Like I be the most powerful. That's what Jesus did.
Nobody says that. Who are these politicians?
George W. Bush used to say God wanted me to be president. I mean, he said that. I'm like, did God want you to send us to Iraq? I mean, I don't think he wants to do that. Like, I just hate when people say stuff like that. Like, God decided that he wanted you to be president. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
well, these freak shows, parties, what were they? Freak offs.
The freak offs that happen at reunion that you just got a message
No, we're not talking about reunion. We are talking about
right.
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy.
Does anybody have any video about the freak offs at reunion that we could use as demonstrative aids? Because we are on the internet.
Shaun,
what?
We are not showing any reunion freak offs on this.
But it'd be cool.
Family friendly
cool
radio program.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we that family friendly? It's the lunch hour. The kids are in school. They can't listen to the radio at lunch hour. It's just well, anyway, so we'll go back to P. Diddy is being charged in federal court in Manhattan for the racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking by force, which essentially means he had a lot of freak offs. And he paid male escorts to have sex with his girlfriend, Cassie.
With lots of baby oil. Was it baby oil?
He had tons of baby oil.
That's the weirdest.
Do you think they have a lot of baby oil at reunion? Do you think they do?
I thought they used pineapple juice.
We need to go ask like the local Walgreens people and stuff. Or Costco now would know if there's like a direct shipment.
Would you stop it?
That's why they built the Amazon centers closer to reunion. That's it. That's the reason. Like
and then it's time for our first commercial break. So we're gonna leave it on that for now, and maybe I'm gonna like try to simmer him down during the commercial break.
We just got off on freak offs, and this is where it is.
We got off on freak offs.
Yeah, we did.
We'll be back after this commercial break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be cleaner maybe in the next segment.
All right.
We'll be right back here at WIB 103.9.
.1039 WYAB.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Doctor, basic doctor, what's your diagnosis? frozen, cause my air conditioned so. Doctor, doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. theacdr.com.
Hi there, it's Lori from the mailroom. Of course, you know we offer shipping with UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the Postal Service. But did you know about all the other services we offer? We have stamps, envelopes, boxes, wrapping paper, greeting cards, and gift bags. We also offer gift wrapping. You can drop off your gifts, and we will have them wrapped and ready to go. Come check us out. We are south of Germantown High School, north of Gluckstadt Road at 272 Calhoun Station Parkway, Suite C. Mailroomgluckstadt.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Jamie Creel for a free personal protection review. I'm here with Lee Bounds of New American Funding. Lee, why is Rita Jensen, Remax Connection, your go-to real estate agent?
I highly recommend Rita because she's honest. She just tells it like it is. She has integrity, and I just love referring clients to her because I know when I turn them loose, she is going to take care of them from the start. You'll always be in good hands with her. From the application to the keys, I like to say.
RitaJensen.net. Rita, JENSEN.net.
Come together.
We are back here on WYAB, crossing the aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where politics meets passion, literally.
Apparently, there's a lot of passion at
So
those
there
freak
must-
offs at reunion, right? It's quite passionate.
I try to calm him down. It's not working.
That's or y'all. If you're just tuning in, what we were talking about was the Shaun Diddy Combs.
Not Shaun, you're correct.
Not you never know. Freak offs.
Yeah, I know.
Freak offs at the that he's indicted for in Manhattan federal court right now. That he's going to trial. His girlfriend Cassie Ventura has just testified about how she initially consented to have sex with male escorts, and
she is back on the stand as of 4 minutes ago.
I can't wait to catch up on that. So, and then I was making, not Lindsay, because she doesn't make these kind of inappropriate jokes because she's a preeminent member of Moms for Liberty, very conservative, socially conservative group that would never, ever say anything like this. Yeah, but I was making references to the local urban legend about the neighborhood reunion and the freak offs and the swinging and whatnot. But I'll tell you one thing, if you get indicted in federal court for having a freak off at reunion, which is my area around here that I serve, I'd be glad to represent you in that. I do federal court work. If you were ever decide that you get busted over there and need some help, give me a call 601-862-1320. You can find us at onetextlaw.com.
You can talk to me when I answer the phone, and you can tell me all about it.
You can tell Lindsay all about the freak off that you had at reunion, and the feds came in and busted it up, and we'll take care of you. We do all sorts of criminal defense, including freak offs. And we're also doing 18-wheeler wrecks and automobile accidents. So give us a call anytime.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
But I hope you do not get caught for your freak off, because I'm going to laugh at you when you come to my office and tell me about it. I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to make a joke about the freak off. Just putting that there, because I'm known to do that.
Well, speaking of freaks,
yeah.
Did you hear yesterday's announcement from Delbert Hosemann?
Yes, Delbert. Excited about this. Tell us, Lindsay. I know you love the guy.
Ugh, vomit. So evidently he was on Scotty Ray out of Meridian, and he, I guess, went full-fledged on how he is going to be running for governor. I loved the comments. You guys have got to go over and check out the comments. There's not much support. Somebody said maybe he hit his head a little bit too hard coming.
I looked at Kingfish's site today, and there was some were supporting, some were not. That's kind of why I was looking at it back and forth on that. I think I thought about you when you said to me last night about, well, look at the comments. But I think that's a misnomer, and here's why I'll say that. That was the way. If you in 2023, when he was running the Republican primary for lieutenant governor against Chris McDaniel, the online world seemed to support McDaniel. Like if you looked at just the internet traffic,
you could say that. But also, when you go and look at Chris McDaniel's followers, he has a ton of support from other states.
right?
So that's where I think a lot of that was pulling from.
But it appeared, if you just looked on social media, that wow, Chris McDaniel's really winning this thing.
But I'm talking about like this announcement from Delbert. I don't think there are probably a lot of people from other states commenting.
I mean, that's a good point too. But then the end result of that race in 23 was Delbert won by 10 points, right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was 52.
I don't. That
I looked it up.
That has nothing at all to do with what is happening right now. Chris McDaniel is not running.
I'm not talking about.
I know, but
even
this has
talking
to
about
do
that.
with
What I'm talking
Delbert
about
running for governor and how he is unfit. He is old. He is feeble. He is a Democrat. He has no business running as a Republican. He has done everything to not allow conservative policy through the Senate. He needs to go home. Delbert, go home.
But that was my question, though, Lindsey. Fine, I know you take those positions, but then why did he win so overwhelmingly? What's your answer to that?
I don't know that he won so
10
overwhelmingly.
points is a pretty big win. That's a pretty big win for any politician. 10 points.
Okay.
So why did that happen? If ever the public viewed him in the way that you're saying, and I don't have a dog in the sound because I ain't a Republican. I'm just asking you, like, why do you think that? Like, because I mean, he won by.
I don't know. I'm not talking about that race. I'm talking about him running for governor.
But I think that kind of narrative was out there last time that Delbert was a Democrat, all that kind of stuff.
Because he is.
But it didn't work. Then is my point. So I'm just wondering if you're looking at the internet traffic or the internet social media posts, and that's
maybe because he looks like a sweet little grandpa on a park bench when he is everything but, Shaun.
Well, then that marketing, Lindsey, and that worked. I mean, just like we talked about the other night about how the Forrest Gump commercial, the Delbert thing.
Do you not think that whoever is running against him, and I imagine it's going to be possibly Andy Gibson, possibly Gerard Gibbert, possibly Shad White, possibly Lynn Fitch, do you not think they are going to take the video of him falling down, hitting his head, clearly looking unable?
I mean, I get
unable to stand there as lieutenant governor and do a full day's job because he's old. I'm sorry. Can we get out of this trend of having old people in office? I mean, I just think I'm over it.
Well, there we would agree. I think it's ridiculous that we have, I think anybody over 75, I just think that's time to go to the house. In my point, once you're over 75 years old. I mean, I was just home with my father this weekend. He's 75, and I mean, he has to take a nap like 3 times a day, and he's in good shape. Like it just, I
mean, I like my naps too. So.
Well, you and him, right, bro? Like always constant. But yeah, I agree on the age thing. I'm just saying, as a practical reality, I think Delbert has a lot more support than you're giving him credit for. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think you're wrong, and we're just gonna have to disagree on this because I think the majority of people see him for what he is, and even legislators. You go talk to legislators, go talk to some of the people over there. They are not fans.
Well, I understand, but that's a capital bubble, right? They don't like him, but the public did 2 years ago. I mean,
oh, really? Because did you see the comments? I'm not talking about 2 years ago. Could you stop that? I'm talking about right now, today, him running for governor. He is not seen as someone who has made positive changes in the state of Mississippi. He is not seen as a strong conservative Republican. He is not seen as that. He is seen as someone who can't even stand up there at the podium and do his job.
But my point is, he was seen that way 2 years ago, wasn't he?
No,
he wasn't.
Had he not fallen and hitting his head? I mean, nobody had seen that 2 years ago.
But people were making these non-conservative comments about him before now, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, they were saying he was a Delbert Democrat for years.
Who do you think is making all these comments on this post from yesterday?
I just think.
Do you think that all those people are confused?
No, I'm not saying they're confused. I think they feel the way they feel.
95% of them were like, "No, this is awful for Mississippi."
But were
home.
were they previously had voted for Delbert? I mean, I just wonder.
How on earth am I supposed to know
I mean,
that?
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Which it's hard to judge by what people just say.
No, your dislike for Chris McDaniel makes this a conversation about that. And I've asked you time and time again to not do that. That we're not talking about 2 years ago. We're not talking about Chris McDaniel's race with Thad Cochran. We are not talking. That's all in the past. We're not talking about that. We're talking about right now, today, who is going to be the best governor for Mississippi at the next governor's election. And it is not Delbert Hosemann, period.
Okay. I'm not saying it is. That's not my argument at all.
You just want to get under my skin. I swear you're doing this on purpose.
I'm saying that he may have more support than you think. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, maybe from the pro-abortion people, and maybe from the big pharma companies, and maybe from the automobile agencies who want to make sure that we don't put any more Tesla dealerships around here so that they don't have any competition. Maybe all this behind the scenes, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, good old boy system support. Yeah, that's probably what he's got. You're not wrong there. Not the kind of support we need politicians having.
Okay, and that's a campaign argument to make. I'm just talking about a practical one. That's the difference of what I'm saying. In terms of like, that's a campaign argument that he's this and that, and that's fine. I think you can make those, and I'm not saying those are even inaccurate. I'm just saying
well, they're not inaccurate. They're facts.
I'm just saying he's been elected since 2007 to various offices. I mean, he's had a base of support for like 17 years, or 18 years now. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, he's been since 2007. He's won every race he's been involved in. I mean, it's just a reality. I mean, I know you don't like him, but I'm just saying he's had that kind of political presence for nearly 2 decades in the state now, and it just is what it is. So
yeah, it is. It definitely is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, so now I'm not saying that. Yes, are they going to use his age and feebleness? Well, yeah, I would. I mean, that's a legitimate argument that he's too old to do the job. I think he probably is. He'll be 80 by the time he assumes office.
I mean, I don't know. Should we go with Delbert the Democrat or DEI Delbert? I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's again a campaign argument against him. I'm just saying about the practical reality of his strength. That's all I'm saying.
What strength?
Well, 2 decades in politics and winning every election. I think that means he's pretty strong.
Shaun, how many people have career in politics? How many people are career politicians?
And that speaks to their political strength, though, wouldn't you say?
No,
I mean,
it doesn't.
They keep winning. Well, if you keep winning, then it does. I mean, if you keep winning elections, that means you have political strength. And I'm just saying we must, because he keeps winning for nearly 20 years now.
Again, go look at the comments from yesterday. I don't think those are from out of state people. I think those are Mississippians who are truly thinking, oh my God, God help us all, should Delbert become the governor of Mississippi, which, in fact, he's actually probably got more power as lieutenant governor, but just go home, Delbert. Just go home.
Well, he doesn't seem like he's going to, Lindsey. He's going to go. He's going to go forward. Unless he's
going to be sent home.
Yeah. Well, then that'll happen. I don't know who. There's several people I think that could beat him. I think Shad could beat him, possibly. I think Shad's made.
I think Shad would wipe the floor with him.
I don't know about that because I think the GOP is going to be conflicted at that point. When you say
absolutely not. Would you? I mean, maybe a little bit. So? Maybe a little bit. But would go back and look at the bill that Delbert wanted to pass? That was basically his idea. Yeah, there was another senator who ended up taking responsibility for it, and then they ended up killing it because they got so much backlash. But he wanted to take the power away from the state auditor.
Yeah, I remember that. Shad was on before, and I remember talking to him. I disagree with Delbert on that. That's not. But I'm saying my point is that
But Delbert was wanting to do that because he has a plan to run for governor, and he is wanting to knows that Shad has a plan to run for governor. He's already wanting to make him look bad. And guess what? It backfired in his face.
We're not disagreeing on any of that. What I'm saying is that the conflict Shad has had with the GOP, right? That.
But Delbert doing stuff like that is him being his own worst enemy there.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he did was he made the GOP rally around Shad in that instance.
They did in that instance, right? But there's still like some hurt feelings there, I think, too. I think you would agree with that.
I think there were some things that were said in that book that should not have been said.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be an interesting dynamic if it's him and Delbert, where everybody falls, where all the pieces fall in that because of those situations.
But I'm dang sure going to support the person calling out and defunding the queer Serenas around here in Mississippi than the one who wants to push the DEI agenda. And we got to go to a break. I'm not even going to let Shaun respond to that. We're going to go to a break and we'll be right back here crossing the LWIB 103.9.
WYAB.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
At Johnny's Pizza House, we consider our customers like family, so we spend the extra time needed to put more love into making our pizza. From our dough made fresh daily to fresh, never frozen ingredients, Johnny's Pizza House takes pride in knowing that what we serve our customers isn't just pizza. It's a slice of home in every single bite. Great traditions start with great food and great people. Start your tradition today with Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
I'm Shaun and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
CBS News Brief. President Trump in Saudi Arabia said he's willing to end past conflicts and forge new partnerships. That would include Saudi Arabia recognizing Israel.
You'll do it in your own time, and that's what I want, and that's what you want, and that's the way it's going to be.
He also said he will move to normalize relations and lift sanctions on Syria's new government. Correspondent Elaine Cobb is covering Kim Kardashian's testimony in the trial of men accused of holding her at gunpoint while they stole millions worth of jewelry.
Kardashian told the court how she was tied up at gunpoint as the robbers searched for her jewelry. I absolutely did think I was going to die, she said.
A new report out today showed some encouraging signs of slowing inflation. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Overall good, but little cracks.
Those cracks appearing from the impacts of tariffs starting to show up. On Wall Street, the Dow is off 135 points. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
The Madison Lions Club is hosting its annual four-man scramble at Whisper Lake Golf Club on Wednesday, May 21st, beginning at 8 a.m. Get your teams together. It's just $100 per player. There will be cash prizes for first, second, and third place, and even a $500 prize for a hole-in-one on any hole. Proceeds benefit the Madison Lions Club and include incredible causes like vision screening. For more information, call Betsy at 601-842-1564 to register or become a sponsor today.
I'm David Frederick, owner of Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. I'm here to tell you that it's the best time to buy a new Exmark zero-turn mower. With unmatched quality of cut, ease of operation, and low maintenance, it's no wonder why Exmark is the #1 choice of landscape professionals. With sizes starting at 42 inches and 0% financing available, we have an Exmark zero-turn for all size lawns. Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. Come by my store and see why Fredericks has been leading the way and serving you for 30 years since 1993.
Pet emergencies don't wait, so why should you? At Urge Vet Emergency Vets of Madison, we offer low wait times and cutting-edge technology to provide fast, expert care for all household pets. Our hours of operation are weeknights 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and 24 hours on weekends and holidays. Our phone number is 601-790-1918 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Come together.
Welcome back into Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey right here on WIAB 103.9. So, Shaun, your buddy, Jody Owens, still hasn't filed his campaign finance reports, right?
Yeah. So there was another article yesterday in what's called the Marshall Project, which is an organization that I guess investigates criminal justice, works on reform, misdeeds in the criminal justice system, whatever.
Lots of that going on.
There's a lot of that in Jackson. So apparently, under fire District Attorney Jody Owens, who's, as we all know, has been indicted in a federal corruption bribery scandal last November, and United States District Court for the Southern District of Mississippi here in Jackson, along with the Mayor Chokwe Lumumba and Aaron Banks and et al., as I'll use ETAL, like et al., like all of those, a bunch of them, Angelique Lee, and then there was Marve Smith, who's one of Jody's buddies and whatnot, all running this with the infamous real estate developer scandal that most of us know if you listen to the station about, where the FBI agents posed as real estate developers trying to build the Jackson Convention Center Hotel.
Got him on a yacht.
They got on a yacht in Miami, went to a strip club, drank a lot of Cavassier and who knows what else, and all that stuff went on. So and as we all know, the mayor lost his reelection bid a few weeks ago to Senator John Horn, who will now face several other candidates, including our own Kim Wade, in the general election on June the 3rd. And so Lumumba is out of office. Angelique Lee is out of office. Aaron Banks did not seek reelection. He is out of office. So Jody's the last one,
He
Lindsay.
couldn't get up from the kiddie table.
He could not get up from the kiddie table. And what she's referencing is when Jody was telling Aaron how much money they'd give him in part of these bribes, and he was kind of walking him like a little dog, basically, and said the kiddie table and wouldn't let him get up. But anyway, so Jody has decided not to file his campaign finance reports. And that was released yesterday. That
Chokwe's gotten away with that for years.
Yeah, he did. He did it the last minute, and it was all haphazard and all over the place. So Jody didn't do it, and he incurred a $500 state fine, which he actually paid last month, and he still did not file the report.
Just pay the fine and then just still
didn't
not
file the report. I mean, and I imagine, Lindsay, if I was his lawyer, I'm thinking, do I want him? I would just rather him start paying the fine than file this thing, because it's going to be a bunch of BS on it. So, like, I don't want to create any roadmap for the feds to help them out if I'm them, or to lie on it.
When they file this, is it kind of like considered something under oath? I mean, can they get in trouble for perjury?
I don't know that. I figure you know that better than me about whether it's I don't know if it's under oath statement or not. I haven't really looked at one in years.
No, I mean, I haven't either. I know that I was reading he cannot collect his salary if he is
That
behind.
is one of the things, but no, it's never been enforced, is what it
So
says.
there's no one, actually, I think everyone is really confused in Mississippi. We have these laws, but there's no one, or who is supposed to enforce it? Like, who's the one who's supposed to keep up with it and make sure it's up to date and then enforce these
They're saying
penalties.
that the Ethics Commission can make recommendations. I think it would go to the Attorney General, according to this. I don't know the whole procedure.
Well,
though.
she's too busy prosecuting the Capitol Police for defending themselves.
Yes, she is way too, and getting red dresses tailored. So there's a special thing she does. She wears all these red dresses. That's a big thing.
Because she's a Republican.
But it's just a kind of their branding over there, red dress thing. Anyway, so Jody Owens. The reason a lot of this, Lindsay, is important because if you recall back from the indictment, he described to those fake real estate developers, the FBI agents, that public officials finance their personal lives through their campaign accounts. Making campaign donations is the most effective way to influence them. This is what the district attorney told those undercover agents. That's why they were making all those campaign donations to Chokwe.
$10,000 a piece, and
Chokwe got $50,000 and $10,000 individual checks from companies related to
the maximum for a
I don't know whether it is or they just wanted to break it up. I'm not sure what the maximum contribution is, but they wanted to make it look like it was different companies. Like one of them was like Jody's wife's, the OBGYN company, and then there was like Marve Smith and then a few other friends. There was 5 different LLCs that had actually given the mayor $10,000 checks to break it up. Though, like, looks like it's from different sources, but they were all connected to the DA.
But Jody had checked these people out. They weren't the FBI.
That's what he said. They were not the FBI. That's it. Right.
Famous last words. Huh?
Yes, it's probably a good thing that Jody Owens does not conduct background checks for you. For Moms for Liberty, I know you're always doing that. Probably don't hire Jody to do that because
I trust myself more than him.
So anyway, so he was describing to the FBI that this is a way, Lindsay, that you can influence public officials by giving them campaign contributions, which is a problem in Mississippi. Yeah, I mean, this is a problem in Mississippi because our campaign finance laws are so weak. So anything can happen. And what we saw through the bribery scandal is exactly why we need reform on this issue. The problem, and they quote Michael Watson in this article, who says we need reform, we need tougher laws. But do you think anybody in the legislature is going to vote for that? Heck no.
I don't know. There's some.
There might be. Yes, there might be some. Okay, again, I'm gonna go. Lindsay will say you said all. I don't mean all. There will be some people that will. But most
there's
of them,
some good people over there, Shaun. I promise you.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
there are.
Okay.
I can list them for you if you want me to.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We don't have to go through the list, but I'll say Fred Shanks. There we go. He's a good guy.
Jill Ford.
All right, there you go. So, there's two things politicians aren't voting for: campaign finance reform and term limits. Like those are the two things I guarantee we never see. I will bet you $500 right now that campaign finance reform does not pass and term limits never passes. Like that is not going to happen. They're not going to vote on stuff that's going to screw themselves over.
Well, I'm all for term limits when there's somebody in office I don't like.
Sure, I mean, we're
but
all
when
for
there's somebody in there that I really do like, I don't really like term limits so much anymore.
I mean, can you see the yokels down at the legislature sitting? You've been in there probably more than I have. I used to go a lot when I was at the DA's office. We'd try to lobby for our raises. I mean, it's the yokeling and yucking like, yeah, we need to just get our term limits down, and we need to restrict the amount of money we can get. They're never going to vote on this. I mean, they're never voting on those two things. They're not going to say, yeah, let me get less money and I want to be highly regulated on it. Like it's never going to happen. I mean,
there were some senators who voted to not have raises just a couple sessions ago, by the way.
Yeah, that's so they can get out there to the public. See, I told you, I voted against some raises.
What do you want them to do? You can't. That was political too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's like if they vote for raises, or
those were the rich ones in the legislature that said that because they're like, I don't need what do they make $32,000 plus per diem? So they don't. Yeah, they do. They don't care. But so they're not voting to restrict how much money they can get. That's like never gonna happen. And I mean. And, of course, Watson, I think, he's saying, he's not a legislator. He's a Secretary of State. So kind of what he looks over is campaign finance stuff. And, he's obviously for it. But, yeah, we're never going to see a push by – has Tate Reeves ever come out? And you might know this better than I do for a big push for campaign finance reform? No. Not that as far as I know. They may have, and I just missed it. Like, are any of these potential gubernatorial candidates, other than talking about DEI, talking about campaign finance reform? Which is a serious issue when you're talking about, look what just happened. Like, this is a serious issue. People are getting bribed to do things that are against the public's interest. And we don't do anything about it. We don't care. Like, hey, man, just take all the money you got. Go ahead. Go to the yacht party in Miami. Rock on. And we don't care. And the legislature, as conservative as they say they are, they're not, I'm going to keep hitting this camera from here. They're not going to touch this. I mean, you're right. There'll be some in there that will draft a bill. I agree with you there, but very few and far between they're going to do that. They're not going to do any of this.
You got some of the really good ones who were like, yeah, I'll take your, like I was telling you yesterday, Angel Hill's like, yeah, I'll take your pharmaceutical dollars and then use them against you.
And I love that. That's great. The president said that to the big pharma yesterday. I thought that was great. It's just unfortunate that you're never going to be able to see something like that it obviously needs to be done because everybody's benefiting on the grift.
I mean Trump could sign an executive.
Well, I don't think
he's good at that.
Yeah, I mean they're all benefiting from the grift, and they're not going to ruin their little gravy train. They're not going to do that. What, to serve the public? Please.
Your favorite word is grift. Do you just think all politicians are just
bad,
evil?
Yeah, like that's why like I have no problem attacking the Democrats as much as I do the Republicans, because I know they're all full of crap. Like that's why I have no problem doing that, because I've just seen all of this too much. Like, yes, it's not that this altruistic profession. No, I mean, if it were, Lindsey, well, here we go. We got a chance. Let's have campaign finance reform. Like that would safeguard people from getting bribed, like potentially the DA. We know the freaking mayor of Jackson, right? And you're talking about the office of the district attorney, which is pretty important because you're fighting crime. So it's important that you're not like just tossing cases out there for criminals that are guilty and it could hurt people in the community. But you know what? No, I'd rather get my money. So yeah, I think it's really important. And you would have to ask yourself, what is the reason we're not doing it would be the question. When I bet you, if you ask the public, they'll all be for it, whether you're Republican or Democrat. And the public, the citizens, would be like, well, heck yeah, I don't think they should be able to get as much money to go on yacht trips and fishing trips and hunting trips and all that other crap they do.
Well, I'm sure there are legislators who would be for it too, but then and you know how difficult
their friends would get mad at them for doing it.
The process is so difficult. I mean, you can drop legislation, but then you've got to work it all the way through. You've got to talk to those committee chairmen, and you got somebody over there like Delbert who's a Democrat and appoints those committee chairmen, and they don't want to do anything like that. So it's not going to come out of committee in the Senate. And I mean, you're pretty much it's an uphill battle that you can't win.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's say our buddy Fred, I don't want to put you on the spot, buddy, but say Fred puts a bill in for campaign finance reform, tongue-tied, reform. And then a couple buddies of his in the legislature can be like, man, what are you doing? You're messing up our You know, that would happen to anybody. I'm just using his example. But they're like, there's going to be people that are pissed at you because you're ruining their gravy train.
And then you can't get your other
And you can't
legislation
get
that you're
so what do you
working
do?
on.
Exactly. It's a great point.
And then,
That's a
like,
great
I mean,
point.
especially I'm telling you, in the Senate, like, you pissed Albert off.
Mhm.
He's going to make it known that nobody better work with you or vote for your stuff. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you can't do anything. That's a great point. You can't do anything because if you piss them
It's
off
a game. It's a complete and total game.
yeah, and the public is the loser of the game. That's what happens in the end. So,
I mean, I won't disagree with you there.
I mean,
That
that's
happens a lot of the time.
so everybody just ask your legislator why they do not want campaign finance report reform, why they want the mayor bribed with campaign finance donations, why they want the DA the same. Just ask them, like they're cool with that. I guess if that's their answer. Hell, we couldn't even get a bill, and Fred tried to put it out there for them to take the leave of absence when they were under indictment. That got pushed back. Yeah, that got pushed back.
I still think that there's no reason why Jody Owens should still be DA at this current moment, because after the comments he made, and we've got it in the indictment, while he hasn't been proven guilty, it's pretty damning. And those comments, because he's made those comments, there's no reason why he should still be holding that position right now. I think it's disgusting.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if you're indicted for a federal offense, a state offense, and the legislature doesn't even want to pass a law for you to take a leave of with pay, because what are they worried about themselves? Like, if they're in that situation, they don't want to have to do the same. Like, that's the only reason I could think of.
Well, I think a lot of people were almost looking at Trump having been under fire and thinking about it that way. So what if it was?
But he wasn't holding federal office or any office when he was indicted. I mean,
but if it passed something like that, would it still allow someone to run for office? I don't know. I guess some people thought that was a slippery slope.
yeah. Well, we can see where the slope is landed us in Jackson.
Yeah.
We've got an indicted district attorney who's the head of law enforcement and prosecutions in the county.
A whole DA, not a half.
And he's got 2 more years left on his term, and they're not going to trial for another year. So everybody sleep on that one.
All right, well, we got to take our last break. Y'all stay with us, and we will be right back here to wrap up today's show on WIB 103.9. On WIB 103.9.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas, because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink special, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship, where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
I'm Shaun Yurtron, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com. If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Y'all come see us at Flora Animal Hospital, your trusted hometown vet. We offer a wide variety of veterinary services, including boarding. Dr. Kaylee McCary is a Madison County native who has been serving the Flora community and surrounding areas since 2013. She leads our team of highly trained and compassionate women. We are located at 740 Highway 49 in the Cotton Exchange Plaza. Call us today at 601-879-3222. At Flora Animal Hospital, we treat your pets like our own.
Get the jump on the season at the #1 stop for all your boating and custom water sports needs, Smith Marine. Crest pontoons are here. Come experience luxury and style with a 90-day, no payment, no interest financing option with approved credit, plus a 1-year CTO membership, free cover, free Bimini top, and free inflatable tube. And these crests are pre-rigged with Suzuki motors and Suzuki's industry best warranty. Smith Marine also buys quality pre-owned boats with consignments and trade-ins on the res in Ridgeland and at smithmarinesales.com.
Come together.
We are back here on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey to wrap up the show on this Tuesday. We are about to head out and head to the airport.
Yeah, we're running to the airport right now.
Yeah, we are. We're actually running. We got to get there quickly, and we will be out tomorrow. We're taking a really, really quick trip over to Florida, where I will be filming a podcast tomorrow morning with one of our co-founders of Moms for Liberty, Tina Descovich, on the brand new Fire of Liberty show, Shaun.
Fire of Liberty, huh?
Fire of Liberty. It's week 3.
What are they going to ask you about on this? The Fire of Liberty. Does that have anything to do with book burning called the Fire of Liberty?
No, we don't
Oh.
use fire to burn books. We
I was
use it
making
to ignite liberty in the hearts of all Americans.
And libraries.
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
We just ignite passion for parents to make sure that their children have age appropriate material in their school library, Shaun.
Okay.
That's what we do. Yeah, so y'all catch that tomorrow. You can find it on Moms for Liberty Facebook page or YouTube page, and then we will be back with you the following day on Thursday. So don't miss us too much.
And tomorrow we'll have
It's on
Jack.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry.